My wife demanded divorce and mocked, "You've never been anything." She laughed right at me. Can you imagine the woman you love, the one you built a home with, looking you dead in the eye and calling you a failure? That was my morning, and the coffee in my hand turned to rust in my mouth as I realized she didn't just say it, she meant it. And, honestly, a shocking twist was about to unravel that would make her eat those words. She didn't even bother to look at me, her gaze fixed on a glossy realtor's flyer, pictures of the very kitchen I tiled on my knees after midnight for us. "You're holding me back," she added, adjusting a strand of hair like it was a crown. "I'm filing today." Then she let out this small, confident laugh, the kind of exhale you hear after someone's rehearsed a performance a dozen times. I just stared at the flyer, thinking about the grout lines, those tiny imperfections only I knew were there. It hit me then. Marriage was like those grout lines. You do the hard, careful work, bent over in the quiet, but the first person to judge it is the one who won't even kneel long enough to look closely. My ex-wife, she'd tell you our marriage started failing the day I decided I liked boring things. Not flashy startups or apps, just steady. Storage units. Vending machines. I liked the stale smell of an office at midnight, figuring out why a soda machine ate quarters. I loved contracts, the short ones I could renegotiate, the long ones that paid quietly, consistently, like a heartbeat. When you grow up without a safety net, you learn to fall in love with steady rhythms. When we got married at 26, I was still doing maintenance at an apartment building. Fixing washers, clearing drains, driving an old Civic with peeling paint. But I also had a second phone, packed with client leads, auction dates, and a list of every used snack machine in 3 counties. She knew about it. She'd roll her eyes at dinners with her family. "My husband and his big business," she'd say, swirling her wine. Her mother would ask if my business came with benefits or just grime. "He's scrappy," my wife would coo, patting my knee like I was a stray. Everyone would laugh. I learned to smile. I learned to eat quickly. One Saturday, her brother, Chase, decided to prove his real shoulder strength by drilling holes for a floating shelf in our living room. It fell an hour later, crashing down with a stack of cookbooks. I cleaned the drywall dust with a wet cloth and a jaw so tight it ached, while they watched home renovation shows, making comments about real contractors. When they left for frozen yogurt, I fixed the wall and installed that shelf properly. Then I listened to her brag to her mother that Chase had finally learned to use a level. That stung. I never cared about credit. I cared about outcomes. After dinner, I'd drive my vending machine route, sleeves rolled up, counting quarters in the passenger seat, the Civic's heater coughing warm plastic. In 2 years, I grew that route from 6 machines to 32, then sold it for a neat profit. I rolled that money into a foreclosure, 39 storage units off the interstate, dented roll-ups, weeds everywhere. The first time I stood in that gravel lot at dusk, keys heavy in my pocket, I felt like I'd found a choir no one else could hear. My wife didn't come to see them. She was at a spa with her mother. "I'll come when it looks like a business, not a junkyard," she waved, filing a lime green nail. I hired a crew, resurfaced the asphalt, replaced the locks, upgraded lighting, installed cameras, ran specials for teachers. Within 3 months, occupancy jumped. Within a year, we had a waiting list. She didn't notice, or she pretended not to. She was busy building her online presence, yoga, skincare, brand collaborations. She liked soft boxes, matching storage bins. She liked saying we when she meant I, and I when she meant you. I kept my steel toe boots, the Civic, and the habit of picking up loose and then, the part that shocked everyone. Watch full story.